Welcome to the lightning talk. My name is Shan, and I'm from GovTech, Senior DevOps Engineer. And I work in the StackOps team, which provides an observability solution to the SGTS. And as you can see, we mainly focus on three key categories: security, how to improve observability and collaboration, and ease of use. So today's session will be focusing on this ease of use section. And we leverage Elastic Cloud in StackOps solution, and we allow users to collect logs, metrics, and traces and visualize them in a meaningful way. So we often get asked some questions by the user which are always repeating. So you can see the first question is how to enable observability for a cloud environment. So, okay, our answer is we need use Elastic agents or APM agents. Once the users figure out how to deploy Elastic agents, the next question is how to deploy Elastic agents using any IAC. So whether their questions would be whether we provide any IAC. And once they deploy the Elastic agent, the next question is how to secure the connection between Elastic agent and the Elastic Cloud. So the answer is we need to use VPCE, and here also they need some help to configure the VPC endpoints. And last, they need to configure the fleet integrations so they can ingest logs from different services. So for this one also they need IAC. And last but not least, once everything is completed, they want to know whether they have missed anything in their environment which is not being monitored. So these are kind of like repeating questions. That's why we came up with a solution. The solution is the StackOps Observability Accelerator. So by using this tool, we try to help users to onboard to StackOps faster and allow them to easily deploy Elastic agents. On the bottom, you can see there's a repo URL. If you are interested, you can go and check this URL. It's part of InnoSource group, so anyone can collaborate with us. So these are the main features of Elastic agents. So we mainly help users to discover unmonitored resources in their cloud environments. Once these have been monitored, they can generate a configuration file, which can then be used to deploy an Elastic agent. So the time to deploy Elastic agent would be very less. And we allow injecting Elastic agents as well, also creating fleet policies and creating VPC endpoints. And then we allow users to generate a bill of material. So this bill of material will contain details about all of their cloud resources. And we generate an index in their own cloud environment, so they can use a dashboard to visualize. Later I will show. And last is the CI/CD pipeline. So this tool is a command line tool. So the users need a way to integrate this tool to their either existing pipeline or through a new pipeline, so they can manage all the states of these Elastic agents and VPC endpoints. Okay, so let's do a quick comparison. So we have before SOA and after SOA. So before SOA, what the users need to do is they have to go through all of their cloud resources one by one and identify which resources are being monitored and which resources are not being monitored. And once they identify these resources, they have to use Elastic agent to ingest these logs metrics for these resources. But after SOA, we need to set up SOA first, which takes relatively very little time. And then we need to run a command to discover all unmonitored resources. And once we discover, we can just run the tool again to deploy Elastic agent and start ingesting logs. But there can be a review section, because this tool will generate configuration for all cloud resources. Some of them might not be useful to monitor them, so can review and then apply the changes. Okay, so the implementation looks like this. The tool will first connect to AWS and get details of all AWS resources in the cloud environment, and then it will connect to existing Elastic cluster and get the details of the resources which are being monitored. Either logs are being ingested or the metrics are being ingested. Once these are ingest the data has been retrieved, it do a comparison and identify which resources are missed. So it will generate a configuration file. This configuration file can be used to deploy the Elastic agent and start ingesting logs. And that's additional step. We generate the bill of material as well. It's not shown here. Okay, so it's a command line tool. So we have simple 3 commands shown here. So to discover all the AWS resources, we can run this command. And to create either VPC or create the Elastic agent, we can run this command. Once you run the discover command, it will generate a table, which is pretty similar to this one. And it will contain details about resource types, resource names, and whether the metrics are being ingested and the logs are being ingested. So it's a pretty straightforward table. As you can see, these are the undetected logs. So we can, the tool will generate a configuration file, which you can deploy, and this will be ingested next time. So some of these are already being detected. So no configuration files will be generated for these. And additionally, sometimes when we deploy Elastic agents or any other EC2 instances, we don't install Elastic agent inside of these EC2 instances. So we allow users to inject the Elastic agent into any existing EC2 instances, but we need to have some preconditions met. Depending on the whether it's a part of auto-scaling group and whether it has the necessary session manager permissions, we can inject this the SOA automatically, Elastic agent automatically using the SOA. Okay, so let's look at a generated configuration file. It's pretty straightforward. You can see it's a pretty standard JSON file, and it has some configuration. These are all generated by default. You can customize as you want, but we try to provide the users the minimum they would want to deploy the Elastic agent. So unless they want to customize anything, they don't need to customize anything. So these variables can be injected through environment variables. So you don't need to customize any of these things. If you are in a CI/CD environment or any other, use any other kind of deployment method, you can just inject these secrets or any other sensitive values using environment variables without committing this configure into a repo. Okay, so let's take a look at the CloudWatch, CloudTrail integration. So as you can see, it's pretty big, the configuration file, but this will be automatically generated. And the best part is this kind of configuration you don't need to add manually. The tool will add this for you. So the configuration the users need to done is minimum. Once they generate the file, they can straightforward run unless they want to change something. So once we check the Elastic agent, the configuration file, and deployed using the SOA, the fleet policy will be created. As you can see, this is the fleet policy. An agent will be automatically enrolled, and all the integration will be deployed, and start the logs and metrics will start ingesting. So this whole process can take little as 5 minutes, unless you want to configure any additional things. Okay, so let's focus on bill of material. What is bill of material? It's a complete inventory of all the resources you have. So in addition of generating the configuration file to deploy Elastic agent, we check all the resources in your cloud environment, and we create a breakdown of cloud resources like EC2 instances, Lambda functions, or ECS, all those kind of resources, and we do a breakdown using monitoring status, whether these resources are being monitored or not. And we also compile a list of version information for the applications running in EC2 and Lambda, and list out vulnerabilities as well, and also licensing details as well. So this is a sample dashboard. Since the data will be sent back to your own Elastic cluster, you just need to import this dashboard, and you can straight away use it. So you will get the total number of resources, and how many are being monitored and how many are not being monitored. So you can use this matrix to plan ahead and see which resources you want to focus first. And you can see we provide some of the resource details count as well. So we create a chart which shows the percentage of monitored versus unmonitored resources. So it's very easy to visualize how much of your system is being monitored by Elastic. So the next one is for the components for the EC2 and Lambda functions. So you will see what are the components and what are the versions. So if you have any requirement to use a particular version, you can check from here. This is the dashboard for the vulnerabilities. And next one is the CI/CD pipeline. So this is a command line tool. How do you integrate it with your own environment? So you can either use a template repo. We have a template repo created. You can use the template repo, clone it, and it will have these jobs. So you can add the environment variables and then start using the pipeline. Or you can use the StackOps Observability Accelerator repo itself. It will also contain this pipeline. So you can use either way. Only if you want to create a new CI/CD pipeline. But if you want to add it to existing pipeline, we provide a GitLab workflow. So what you need to do is we have provided a template. You can include this template in your own CI/CD pipeline as shown. So these are the infrastructure creation plan which we have now. But if you want to deploy Elastic agents and create integrations, you can import these new jobs and use these new jobs to deploy Elastic Agent and the fleet policies. The template repo URL is here. You guys can check it out later. OK, so that marks the end of my presentation. You can find the StackOps booth at the end of this side. If you have any further questions, you can contact us either there, or you can contact us via email or Telegram group. You can scan this code for the Telegram group. Thank you.